Hello and welcome to the channel, or back to the channel if you're joining me again for my second watch along of the evening. Back here now for Germany versus the Ivory Coast, which is another exciting encounter with plenty of superstars on show, including the likes of Liverpool's Florian Wirtz and Liverpool target Diomande, the young 19-year-old superstar who Liverpool have already had a £100 million bid rejected already in the past few days. So that is the watch along now. So hopefully some of you can join me for the second one. Had a nice little turnout in the previous one, of which we enjoyed together a massive whooping of Sweden, who got their backsides handed to them by the feisty Netherlands, beating them 5-1 in total. So it was basically a goal fest and definitely not a ball fest. So will we see the same tonight? Oh, hello Cameron, nice to see you in the chat. Thank you for the respect. Yo, big dog, that's it. That's what it's all about. We're all big dogs around here. And our bark is definitely louder than our bite. So let's get it moving for the second game, of which I'm very excited for. So on that note, anyone that does join the stream, please do drop a like on the stream, because it all helps the channel growth. So without further ado, going to look at the team sheets and see how both sides are lining up. So let's have a look. Before others get in and questions start to happen or a little conversation starts to flow, let's have a look at both lineups. So, without further ado, here we are. Let's have a look. So looking at the two teams, we've got Germany first with Natasha's favourite manager. Natasha, that's in my chat a lot, lovely lady. One of her favourite managers is Julian Nagelsmann. The Germany manager uses a 4-2-3-1 formation, which is why Natasha wanted him at Liverpool, because that's what we're used to. So in goal is the veteran Manuel Neuer. Right back is Joshua Kimmich, Jonathan Tah of Leverkusen, Nico Schlotterbeck of Dortmund, and Nathaniel Brown at left back. We have Felix Nemecha, who used to play at Man City, is now being touted as a £120 million midfielder, with Pavlovic in midfield, the Bayern Munich midfielder. And up top, they have a four-pronged attack, which is Leroy Sané, still with that electric pace, playing his football at Galatasaray these days, with Jamal Musiala down the centre of the attacking midfield, with Florian Wirtz in the attacking, kind of 10.5 row, but just coming off of the left-hand side. And up top, they have the Arsenal man, Kai Havertz. So, that is the Germany team. Let's have a look at the Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, their manager is Immerse Faye, formation 4-4-2. So in goal, they have Yaja Fofana. Right back is Singo, who is becoming a veteran of the game. They have Kosunu and Agbadu as their centre-back pairing. Conan as the left-back. They've got Manchester United's Ahmed Diallo on the right wing. They've got, he's approaching a veteran territory, Franck Kessie, formerly of AC Milan and Barcelona. They have Sangare, who plays for Nottingham Forest. Had a decent season, although I don't really think he's a top midfielder myself personally. Then on the left wing, they have the electric and exciting 19-year-old Yan Diomande. The man who I mentioned in the build-up is the player that Liverpool have targeted as the long-term Mo Salah replacement, placing down a whopping £100 million bid, which has been rejected. So some negotiations still to go in that deal. Up top, they have Bonny and they have Ulai as their strikers. So looking at the bench, there's going to be a lot of players that are a lot more familiar on the German side. They have Amiri, Anton, Oliver Baumann, Bayer, Goretzka, Pascal Gross, Llewellyn, Nubel, the third choice goalkeeper, Quadrago, David Raum, the left back, Antonio Rudiger, who is obviously the Real Madrid player, Angelo Stiller, midfielder, Thiaw, centre back, Dennis Undav, formerly of Brighton, and Nick Woltemade of Newcastle. And on the Ivory Coast bench, a few familiar names from the Premier League. You've got Simon Adingra, from Sunderland, Diakate, Diomande from Sporting, Doué, who is the brother of Desiree Doué. This is, I think his first name's Gueva Doué. You've got Fofana, who plays in Ligue 1. You've got Guessand, who plays he played for Crystal Palace and Aston Villa last season. You've got Guegon, you've got Kone, you've got Lafont, you've got Indika, you've got Aperi, you've got Pepe, Nicolas Pepe, of course, formerly of Arsenal. Seri, who used to play for Fulham. You've got Toure, and you've got Wahi. So, many names that are unfamiliar, but also names that are familiar to Premier League fans. So, this is a very exciting game. Definitely looking, my eyes, as you can tell, definitely a little bit biased in the build-up. I am all eyes on this Yan Diomande kid. I want to see what he does on the World Cup stage with my boys Liverpool. Very interested in him. I want to know what he does up against a tier 1 defensive team in terms of Germany. Jonathan Tah, Nico Schlotterbeck, both very, very good defenders. Not the greatest defenders in the world, especially Jonathan Tah, but Nico Schlotterbeck is a prime centre-back. So let's see how Yan Diomande gets along with him in terms of causing Germany a problem, because we can imagine at certain points in the game, young Amad Diallo of Man United and Yan Diomande will be switching flanks and trying to cause some havoc for the Germany backline. So that's what I'm interested in seeing today. So the game is kicking off in 18 minutes. And like I said, anybody that's new to the channel or coming back, then obviously welcome back. Lovely to see you. But anyone that's new in the chat, please do say hello. Make yourself known. My name is Ade. I'm the veteran arcade soldier. This is my channel where I play a lot of video games, modern games, old classic retro games, modern games such as, let's see, Resident Evil types, Pragmata, games such as this, solo player adventure games. I do stream these on Twitch and I do upload them as vlogs on YouTube as well. So you can check those out. I do stream Street Fighter 6 live. I do play at master rank level, so a decent high standard. So any of you into the Street Fighter series, then you can catch me online. You can look in my bio for my Capcom Fighting username. And also I have my own Street Fighter 6 club as well, which you're welcome to join if you like to throw down. So on that note, do drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel. If you do like your video games and you like your football with a positive inflection on it, I don't mind which club you support. As you can see, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I don't have any hatred for other clubs. It's just all about getting along. Of course, I don't want to see certain teams succeed, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. May the best team win. That's always been my philosophy. So it's all about, it doesn't matter who you support. You're welcome in the chat. Throw down your opinions, throw down your jokes, your banter, your laughs, your stories, your opinions. And yeah, that's what it's all about. And that's the kind of person I am. And that's what I'm all about. So on that note, I'll take a breather because as you can see, I can talk a lot. And we're building up to the game, which is kicking off in 16 minutes. Good to see you in the chat cam. Hope you are well, bro. Let me know how your day is going. Definitely warm. It's going to be a very warm week in England this upcoming week. We have, what's it called? We have a temperature. I think it's going to be 32 degrees tomorrow. And then during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be creeping up to 36 degrees. I do believe somebody was saying in the chat earlier. Well, when I say earlier, I mean on my previous stream, because this is my second watch along of the day. The first one was A fantastic game, as I said. The Netherlands versus Sweden, of which Sweden got their backsides handed to them 5-1. Great showing from Brian Brobby of Sunderland, who scored 2 goals, and Cody Gakpo, who scored a goal and I think 2 assists. Was it 2 goals and assists? I've lost track already. Let me double check that fact. But Cody Gakpo he definitely scored in it. What was his output in the game? Oh, Gakpo was 2 with an assist, and Brobby had 2 as well. So yeah, Gakpo for me was man of the match, getting 2 goals and an assist. You can't go wrong with that. And now Gakpo, let's have a look at Gakpo's stats. 2 goals for Gakpo, 1 assist in the tournament. So very impressive from Cody Gakpo. I do believe he definitely would have put a few pounds on his value, and it will be interesting to see if Liverpool do sanction a sell for Gakpo. I can see Gakpo going to Bayern Munich in the summer. I'm not manifesting it. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen, but I could see it happening. I believe Liverpool are trying to refresh the front line and go for something a bit different. But, we shall see. I think next week we're going to see, I'm just talking about Liverpool because obviously it's a team I follow and the team I know most about. But I do believe that Liverpool will get this Diomande deal over the line. Hopefully he gets no injuries or anything funny today that could scupper a deal. But I do believe Liverpool will go back in for a similar fee to what they paid for Florian Wirtz last year in the summer. And I do believe that they will be stumping up a good 110 to 115 million pounds for this youngster. Do I agree with it? Not really. Do I want the player? From what I've seen, this will be my 4th live game of seeing him, but obviously I've seen the YouTube compilations. I've seen the statistics from this season. This is the player that has literally got the exact same output in the Bundesliga as Michael Olise, and we all know that Michael Olise is in the top 2 or 3 wingers in the world. You're talking about the best wingers in the world are, you can put them in whatever order you want, but it'll be a Havertz for PSG, Lamine Yamal and Michael Olise. Those are the top 3 wingers in world football. And considering that Diomande got more or less the exact same stats on a similar level to Michael Olise for an inferior team but in the same league, it does bode well. And considering that at 19, there's not many players that have played to his standard at the age 19. But I'm not gonna, be hyperbolic and go over the top, because this is a player that I've seen play 3 matches of 90 minutes in total. Now, at the end of the day, a lot of people blow smoke up your backsides on YouTube that this player is that, this, that, and the other. But in reality, I'll always give my honest opinion. I don't believe in judging players that you've never seen play. That is absolutely foolishness. But I have seen this boy play 3 times. I saw him play in the AFCON in January. And I've seen him play for Leipzig. I've seen him play 2 games for Leipzig, and I saw the Leipzig Bayern Munich game where he flipping tortured Bayern Munich, giving Alphonso Davies a good old time. That was a fantastic battle between the two. And I've seen him play for the Ivory Coast. So unlike a lot of people who give an opinion on a player that they haven't seen, I will never do that, because what is the point of that? Is absolutely disingenuous and pointless. So this will be my 4th Diomande match, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on as the players are basically making their way out. And it'll be interesting to see how both teams get on with the conditions, because obviously it's very warm over in that part of the world. So yes, very, very excited to see how things are going to be going. I think next time I do need to learn how to maybe cross over straight into another stream, but I had to close off the last one. You end up losing a few people along the way, but hopefully they will rejoin if they're still up and around for the second game. But yes, the players are getting ready to come out onto the field. Germany are, of course, the clear favourites. And I do believe just looking on the balance of the two teams, I do believe this one, and I'm going to put my prediction in the chat now. I do believe Germany run out 2-1 winners. But let's see. Let's see what the Ivory Coast can muster. I'm sure it's going to be a very intriguing battle. And there's a lot of pace and power in the Ivory Coast team, especially on the flanks. You've got Amad Diallo, who's rapid as anything. Doesn't have much power for Casinos. He's a little guy. But Diomande is the one. He is the threat. He's got the pace, the similar pace as Amad Diallo, be a bit faster. And he's obviously got the physicality. He's built like a 28-year-old. But apparently he's 19. I would like to see that passport be scrutinised because Liverpool are about to spend 100 million on this guy and he could be 28 because we know how some countries roll over in Africa regarding passports. Cameroon being a very good example of having players that are blatantly 35 but on their passport says they're 21. So yeah, I'll be very interested to see how that pans out. But now, all jokes aside, Diomande is obviously 19. But yeah, let's see how that pans out over the next few weeks because Liverpool don't want to be buying a 29-year-old masquerading as a 19-year-old. So we shall see how that goes. But yes, about to begin the hey, how are you, man? Like and subscribe. You never walk alone, my guy. Yes. AR, what do I call you, brother? Let me know. But I really appreciate it, man. I need that support. I'm on a journey to 500 subscribers. And I do watch-alongs, play video games. And I really appreciate it. Let me know. Obviously, you support Liverpool like me, my brother. Let me know how to say your name. And what do you predict for this match? And in answer to your question, I am very good, thank you very much. This is my second watch along of the day. So obviously getting a little bit tired, but I'm pumped to see Diomande. You're a Liverpool fan like myself. Oh, it's Abdul. Respect, bro. You are going for Germany 2, Ivory Coast 1. Same prediction as me. You obviously know football, my brother. Nice to meet you, Abdul. Let me know where you're from as well. And are you excited to see what this Diomande kid that we're linked with is looking like? Let me know. And welcome to the channel. Really appreciate it. But yes, the two teams are out on the line, ready to begin the match, singing their national anthems, and we are about to get underway. It's Germany, Ivory Coast. Abdul says, I'm from Leeds. Diomande isn't worth 100 million euros, but that's the going rate with inflation and tax. A bit of potential and young age cost money nowadays. I know what you mean, man. I agree with you. I want the player. I've seen him play. I think he's a good player. But I'm like you, Abdul. He's not worth the money. But what can we do? It's just the price of it now. And it's like these days with football teams, we're paying for someone's ultimate potential. Obviously, there's no guarantee he's going to reach that potential, but we're stuck in a place because we didn't plan very well after Mo Salah, and now we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. We need someone in that position, and the dearth of talent around world football is lacking. Someone that can play across the right is what we need. And obviously he's going to be the guy. But 100 million for, I was looking at his stats earlier today. Abdul, he's played 49 career games. 49 games. It's actually scandalous, really. We're taking a hell of a risk. Hell of a risk. But thank you for liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Obviously, feel free to chat away. What I like to do on my channel when I watch football is I commentate over the game. I look at the chat and respond with any questions. Have a little chat about things, stories, your opinions, how you're feeling about your team, etc. What you think about other transfers. I'm all ears and I like to mix and match. Abdul then says we need a right back, centre back, CDM, right wing, left wing, and a number 9. We also need to offload injury-prone players and those who don't sign contracts. I know that last line about players that don't sign contracts. Well, we've got another issue coming up because we've got Szoboszlai, who's up for renewal now. He's got a year after this one coming. Same with McAllister. So we need to make a decision. Sign up this summer. Not that I want to keep McAllister personally. Szoboszlai, yes, let's sign him up. But yeah, going back on your players there, we definitely need a right back. There's good news that Conor Bradley is going to be back in training by the end of the summer. So that's good news because they were talking about 2027. But we know how often Conor goes down. So we need a right back because, what's his face? Jeremy Frimpong is not it as a right back. We definitely need another centre back. The CDM 100%. The right wing obviously will be Diomande. We've got this young kid in now, Munoz from Osasuna that you would have seen. He can cover both flanks. But I feel we're going to lose Gakpo as well. So I think we then need another left winger as well. Like you say, the number 9, maybe we can get someone in on loan or get somebody that covers all those positions. It's just going to be tricky. We've still got so much work to do, basically. Abdul says, I go on other channels for political, tribal, negative and biased content. You're a good person. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I hear that, my man. I hear that. The thing is, it's very difficult on YouTube because obviously you have to watch what you say and whatnot. And ultimately, I feel like a lot of the time we get a lot of biased talk and stuff on our channels and whatnot. And the way football has gone in recent years, I don't know how old you are, Abdul. I'm more of a mature person in a sense of I don't want to get into the back and forth of putting down the so-called rivals. We all love our teams. And, we see a lot of fans go through pain when they go through struggles with their team. And, I want to kind of foster a community where everyone can come and have a chat. The more Liverpool fans, the better. But I don't want to have malice for teams that are just, football's on the pitch. But once the football's over, we should all be friends. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's the way I see things anyway. But I think a lot of this kind of culture that we've kind of, not we, but people have bred online is that it's funny to be toxic, and this so-called banter era, banter should be fun and not at the expense of people's mental health. Do you know what I mean? And how they feel about their teams. That's the way I view things anyway. "20 losses, 9 draws and no trophies last season. Good thing we sacked Slot. You wanted Xabi Alonso, but you were back realer." I hear that. I felt the same at the time. Oh, mate, I was done with Slot. After the Nottingham Forest 3-0 at home. And then obviously it was 4-1 to PSV. I was done. I'd had enough. And it seemed a bit harsh at the time, but he had a whole season to turn it around. And by the end of it, we were still shocking. Like you say, 20 losses. The draws, I forgot how many draws there were. The draws I wasn't so bothered about. Obviously, I was concerned with the draws against, the Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland. Those were disgusting. But the 20 losses for Liverpool, with the money we spent, absolutely scandalous. Like, disgusting, in fact. So, I knew he had to go. And obviously, they were saying there was rumours. But I think they played a media game. They played a smart game. He was always going to go. There was no way, with what we spent last summer and the way we played that season, that he was going to start the season in charge. No chance. I will get to your comment in a second. Right, the game has kicked off. Abdul says slot in-game management is non-existent and the consecutive losses killed our season. Oh man, they destroyed our season. And the mad thing is, Abdul, the season when we won the league in his first season, every half time he seemed to make a great... Oh, Havertz with a chance in the first 10 seconds. Every change that he made in the first season in charge, he had an impact at half time. It was incredible. He completely lost his touch. But Abdul says, why change from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1? Well, this is it. It's like with... I mean, I wouldn't... For me, it wasn't really so much about the formation we played. It was just more about the tempo. The tempo was disgusting. And obviously, it had an impact on the fitness. And there was rumours that the impact around the club in terms of fitness was non-existent. And I think we just benefited from the Jurgen Klopp era of training, getting us over the line in the first season. But the second season, we just looked knackered every game. It was shambolic. Absolutely shambolic. But yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, obviously, the way Jurgen Klopp had us, it's the double pivot. So when you're talking about, obviously, the formation, that when it comes to the 4-2-3, that double pivot, yeah, that wasn't... In the second season, it just was not it, my brother. It was not it at all. So ball is out now with Neuer out to Tar. Abdul, who do you want to see brought in and which other players do you want to see brought in? And do you still want Diomande even though he costs an arm and a leg? Let me know. This guy Mecha is looking like a specimen in midfield. Wow, he's really grown. Abdul says wingers were shocking and Isak wasn't fit. Oh, mate, 100%. Isak has looked pretty decent in the World Cup so far and the friendlies beforehand. So hopefully he's going to come back to full fitness. But yeah, the wingers are just, shocking. How did you feel about Mo Salah leaving at the end of the season? Think it's the right time? Over to you. What do you think? Florian Wirtz on the ball there. Lays it into midfield. Germany settle into a possession-based system as it stands. Having a lot of the ball. The Ivory Coast very deep. Look to break. Diomande moving. Bonnie hit the striker. Diomande edge of the box. On the outside. Cuts it across. Decent effort. We need a centre-back. Virgil van Dijk, 35 years old next month. We need another centre-back. I know. And that's the thing. They're going to ask him to go one more season. How many times can he keep going? I still think he's good enough. I'd like to keep Virgil for another year. Salah didn't like Slot and FSG agreed for him to go by mutual. Yeah, exactly. But did you want him to stay or do you think it was the right time? That's kind of what I meant. But yeah, Diomande with a nice little break there on the right-hand side. So Fofana with the ball in goal for Ivory Coast. Coat the Ivory. I think it's a good time for Salah to go, to be honest. We had to move in at some point. But we definitely need another centre-back to help Van Dijk. We can't go into the season with those four. You know, Van Dijk, Joe Gomez injury prone. Obviously, the young Italian centre-back and Jeremy Jackhead that's been brought on. Right. Salah wasn't that good last season. I'm club first. Players come and go. 100% Abdul. Got to have that mentality, man. You know, at the end of the day, players don't run the club. To be honest, I wasn't massively happy with the way Salah's comments came out in the press, the media, etc. I'm not a big fan of that. You've got to try and look after the reputation of the club. I think they did do him a bit dirty behind his back, to be honest. I think they wanted to get rid of him. They wanted to get him off the wage bill. But it was the right time. And, he can move on with our blessings and hopefully he has a good career. Unless he plays against Liverpool, of course. Do you have any recommendations yourself for who you would like to see brought in? Because you mentioned those specific positions. Obviously, right wing, left wing, striker, centre-back and CDM. Who would you like to come in? Some names. Give me some names. If you have any ideas of what you fancy. Right, one back there. So Ivory Coast very deep, playing a mid to low block here, and Germany are going to have a lot of possession in this game, and obviously going to be relying on the outlet. Bonny is a fast striker. Amad Diallo, the diminutive Man United winger, very, very fast. Diomande, very, very fast. So they're going to be trying to break and catch Germany on the break. Abdul says, if I give a name, it won't happen. I let the head coach and board do it. I hear you, man. I hear you. That's fair enough. You're a patient man. You're patient. I was interested to see the signing. Obviously, you would have seen it the other day. This Victor Munoz, never seen him play. Had never even heard of him before the signing. But from what I've seen, looks quite an exciting signing. Very fast, very tricky. And at that kind of price, hopefully it's that kind of, we're getting back to that kind of level where Liverpool would get youngsters that are not unheard of, but, you know, kind of players with something to prove and at the right age for growth and explosion. So hopefully that's what this Victor Munoz is going to be for us. But has picked up an injury in the Spain camp, which is a bit disappointing. So Bonny down the left wing. Diomande now stood up by two players, goes past two, goes down in a heap. Right. Germany are lacking pace here. Abdul says, I had to look at a YouTube video of Munoz. He is fast, but he has no end product. Yeah, I won't write up his end product at the moment. Obviously, you know, YouTube. We can all, they can make a compilation of me and you on YouTube, and we look like world beaters. But he definitely has that pace. He did slap in a few goals on the compilations, but obviously some of those are scorchers, and I don't really like it when you see players ripping in 20-yarders, because how often are they going to do that? You want to see the effective stuff. But yeah, I didn't see many assists in there, and that's the kind of thing we want. We want players, wingers, that are going to unlock Isak. That's what we need. So let's see. If he's coming in as a backup winger, I'm happy with that. Where do you stand yourself on Cody Gakpo at the moment? I'll be interested to hear another Liverpool fan's take on that. Abdul says, Gakpo in the number 9 or sell him. No, I hear that. Well, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, because on the left, he doesn't fill me with any real confidence. He doesn't even a 9 either. Personally, me speaking, ball comes over. Ooh. Right, Wirtz now, right side, plays it centrally to Mecha. Pavlovic. Mecha again. Kimmich floats one in to Kai Havertz. Good save by Fofana. Yeah, Gakpo in the 9 or left wing doesn't do it for me. Personally, I'm glad he's had a decent game today. I'm hoping we sell him on, to be honest. And I want to get another winger in myself. So I'd like to get Diomande, because we're going to go for him anyway. So, you know, it's not effectively my choice, but like you said, we can only get who the board buy. But Diomande, we've got this Munoz in, and maybe another winger like a Barcola. Somebody can play both sides. But yeah, we do need somebody that can cover that striker position though, because we can't rely on Isak all season. It's just not likely to happen. So Fofana with a kick out now. Ivory Coast on a break. Diomande. Oh, poor touch from Diomande. Flies away from him. Concrete foot touch there from Diomande. That was not a good touch at all. Scandalous touch that was. It was fired into him, but you gotta do better than that. If you're getting bought for £100 million, you want to see a silk pillow of a touch on his boot. Abdul says, I don't rate Frimpong. Bradley injured all the time. Ugh, mate, I know. That's the thing. Bradley, I do like as a right back. I think he's a little bit overrated. He's got room to grow, but the boy can't stay fit. I feel like he needs one last chance now, Conor Bradley. If he can't come back and stay fit after this, got to go. Got to go. Going back to your statement about players. Diomande, nice back heel in the box. Flicked into the box here. Running on. Cleared. You don't rate Frimpong. Same. Why play Jones and Soba? No. That used to infuriate me. I hate playing players out of position. It's so irritating. You know, whether you've got players that the manager rates or not, we had players. There was times when Joe Gomez was fit. Just play him at right back. That you had this youngster that he didn't want to give a chance, apart from the Crystal Palace game in the cup that he threw away. What's his name? The young boy, the Scottish lad who escapes my mind at the moment. Just give somebody a chance, but play a right back at right back. Do you know what I mean? Playing Sobo and Curtis Jones here, and then when Frimpong was fit, you still didn't play him there. So it's just ridiculous, really. But we need a right back. Okay, that's it. Calvin Ramsey, thank you. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to divert your attention, have a chat, look at the chat, do this and that. So I'm getting used to that sort of thing. But yeah, give that kid a chance. In the one game I saw him play, he wasn't even that bad against a full-strength Crystal Palace when Leone went down. But apparently we're linked with the Rayo Vallecano right back. I've seen him play once, Raichu. He seemed pretty decent in the one game I saw. 28 years of old, rapid. He was locking up Crystal Palace most of that game. So yeah, if that's who we're interested in, we need somebody, because it gets to the point where you get a bit desperate. You need to give somebody a go, because like you saying, I don't want to see Sobo at right back anymore. Jones to Inter, it's looking likely. Apparently the rumours are that he's already told his ties that his Liverpool career's over. So it looks like that's going to be, it's just a matter of time. You want Ryan at right wing. Interesting. I think, hold on, Diomande breaking on the left here. Oh, another awful touch from Diomande, honestly. That was shocking. Ball over the top. Can't even control it, goes off. Honestly, this game here in the first 15 minutes is not doing my Diomande confidence much, because he has shown two awful touches. You want Ryan at right wing? Well, the thing is with him, I wasn't really blown away I saw him play about 2 or 3 games. I wasn't blown away by Ryan, to be honest. Obviously for the reported 130 million they want, I mean, they can do one. But I don't understand why we're not in for people like Ryan when he was back in Brazil. Abdul says, I want the next Vieira, Roy Keane or Rodri. Tell me about it, bro. 100%. 100%. So I take it that you're not interested in Adam Wharton as a CDM. It looks like we might have gone cold on him. But yeah, we need somebody to protect the back line. We've got an aging Virgil van Dijk. We've got a young centre-back he's likely to start the season with in Jeremy Jacquet. So we've got a very old Van Dijk. We've got a very young Jacquet. And they've got no protection in front of them because Gravenberch won't provide that protection. So we need somebody who's got some steel about their game. We need somebody who can put a foot in 100%. But yeah, we shall see. But yeah, I hear you saying that you're basically saying that you'd rather go with Ryan for right wing instead of Diomande. You know what? When you put it like that, I can understand, because obviously he had half a season in the Prem and he did quite well. I can't remember how many goals he scored. Maybe like 2 or 3. I don't remember him on a score sheet that much. But he's obviously a player that can double up as a striker as well. So maybe that's playing into your thinking as well. He could play right wing and striker, but at the end of the day, it's looking like we are all in for Diomande at this point. Right, Diomande, another chance. Oh my God, awful again from Diomande. Tries to play a first time clever pass into the box, and it's nowhere near it. Honestly, his first 16 minutes has been absolutely shocking. Abdul says, I like my left foot in the right wing and my right foot in the left wing. I like balance. I hear that, man. That's obviously a new age football thing, isn't it? Whereas, if you went back 15 years ago and beyond, the left-footed winger would be left-footed, the right-footed on the right wing. But I hear what you're saying. Because obviously so many goals come from the wing position now. Because the quality of striker in world football has gone down massively. But yeah, I hear that. We want the inverted wingers. Well, Diomande would be... right. Wirtz has put... All right, what's happening here? Oof. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. Because that's the thing with Diomande. He's right-footed and plays on the right wing. He just got a decent left foot about him. But I know what you mean. You want the proper invert. You want the Sadio Mane, Mo Salah combination. That's what you want. I mean, with Diomande, he can provide the he can provide goals, which is good to be fair. Rio and Muniz are on the bench and come on. I hear that. I do believe. How many games season do you think Rio will start next season? Do you think he'll be good chance there for Musiala? Just flashes it wide of the right hand side. Yeah, how many games do you think Rio will start next season? Do you think he will start as the first choice if Gakpo is sold, or do you think somebody will come in, or do you think Rio will be the starter? Rio 15 to 20 game start. I hear that. I can go with that. I'd probably do the same. 100%. I would do the same. I don't think he should be starting. I don't think he should be the starting winger. I think he's a bit too young for that. We don't want burnout. We've already starting to see the creaks in Lamine Yamal, who is one of the world's best players, but there's a lot of injuries he's picking up already, and I don't want to spoil this young talent. So I am with you. I'm in the same camp, Abdul. A few people in the chat, please do say hello. Myself and Abdul, Liverpool fans, having a good old chat. Don't let that put you off. Come and join the conversation. Abdul says we need still physicality and 100%. 100%. What I do like about Diomande is that whether he is truly 19 or not, he looks like he's about 29 to be fair. He does have the physicality for the Prem. That's without doubt. Obviously, going with the physical position of the CDM, we need someone that's got some steel. 100%, because Gakpo and McAllister worked in the first season, but the second season it was awful. And I don't want to see it again. I don't really want to see Gravenberch there in that position again, to be honest. Right. This Singo kid. Nathaniel Brown. Yeah. Not looking the greatest on the left for Germany. Very pacey though, Nathaniel Brown. Very small. I didn't realise he was that slight. Pavlovic is a very powerful Bayern Munich player. But they don't have much pace in this Germany team. Nathaniel Brown and Sane are the only two players of any real pace in this German team. They're a little bit of a slow side. But that's what Liverpool need. We need steel in the middle. Our academy is not producing first-team talent. Yeah, I know, I agree. And obviously that's why we're hijacking so many young players. We've brought in a lot of players, haven't we, over last, in the under-17s tournament last say October. We brought in those Austrian centre-backs that are 6'5", and the Ivory Coast one as well. But yeah, we're not producing much, hence nicking Rio from Chelsea. And there's big hopes for this Joshua Abe. Nemecha, deflection and just over the bar. Big chance there. But yeah, we need another few players coming through. How do you feel about what's he called? Jayden Dance. I liked Jayden Dance when he was coming through 2 years ago. It looks like he's got something about him. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. You know, he's very hungry. Gets on the end of things. I think he could do well. Obviously, he can't seem to shake injuries. That's the problem. Obviously, we've got this young Will Wright as a striker. Do you think that? Do you think some of those could get their head next season? Let me know your thoughts. Right, Kimmich in the box, dropped. Is that a foul or goal? Oh, referee protection there. Referee protection there. Kimmich fires in a cross. To me, I don't see anything wrong with that. Keeper's gone up for it. Pavlovic. No, that's a goal. That's a goal. A little bit of leading with the arm, maybe. He's not an elbow or anything, but keeper's not strong there. Keeper's got to be stronger. But 0-0, it remains. Keeper always gets protected. Let's have a look. Sorry, my man. Just diverting my attention. Yeah, I think that was a goal as well. 100%. I think that was a goal. What did I think about Almiron's red card? To be honest with you, until I heard about the red card, I didn't even know about the new rule. So when I saw the rule and the sending off, then I went and saw the highlights. And I thought, wow. I mean, obviously, if that's the rule, and so be it. I think it's poor. And I think sometimes you've got to trial a new rule. And obviously, players have been doing this whole mouth covering thing for, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. But they've been doing this mouth covering thing for about 3 seasons now. And it's become second nature to players, managers, everyone now. So it's very hard to just switch off a normal behaviour. But when I saw it, the Turkish player was instantly ref. So I don't think it's anything he said. I think it's just the fact that the Turkish player was switched on and goes, ref, see what he's done? He's got to go for that, right? He's got to go. And I think he just literally, it's like a playground thing. He's grassed him up at school. And I don't think Almiron's done anything. I think ultimately it's a good rule because it can get rid of the whole racism thing. And obviously we saw it in the Champions League last season with, I can't remember who it was, Benfica. I was on the Benfica player on of Vinicius Junior. So I think it's a good thing because, you know, people can get away with murder. And obviously if you cover your mouth, you're stopping people from lip reading what you say. So I think ultimately it's a good rule. The interpretation of when you bring it in, the implementation, should I say, that's a difficult thing because you have to start it somewhere. So if they're starting in the World Cup and they're bringing it into the Premier League, these players have got enough time to get used to it. Other professional footballers that are watching the games on the TV and, you know, they've got time to learn it now. So let's get rid of the whole closed mouth crap because it's a rubbish move anyway. Why do you need to cover your mouth over everything in football? But football is a very it's a very childish game in a way. Do you know what I mean? Some of the things that come in, it's pathetic really. But yeah, I hope it does come to the Prem. I hope it comes to the Prem. The one thing I'm not is this hydration break. Don't be bringing that to the Prem. It's an absolute joke. I don't like how slow VAR is in the Prem. Oh no, it's awful. They're talking about speeding up, aren't they? Especially over the VAR over offside. That's the one. That's the one that grinds my gears because that shouldn't take anywhere near as long. They were meant to get in the whole waterfall system in place, you know, where it's the instant waterfall thing that we've seen in the World Cup. They were meant to get it in the start of last season. It didn't happen. And then they brought it in at around March. And even then, it wasn't done very well quickly. They need to get that instant bang. Hydration breaks is a market opportunity and fuel tactic. Yeah, oh, mate. That's the thing. The hydration aspect is true, but a lot of these stadiums are air conditioned anyway. They're professional footballers. They don't need it. They can get a drink at half time. But obviously, there's the tactical aspect of it, like you say. It gives a coach a time to change the game, which is wrong anyway. And obviously the adverts as well to make him money. So it is disgusting. The thing that annoys me more is probably the tactics really over the adverts, because we know what people are like. They're driven by money. But the tactics is poor because football is a story. Imagine Germany have been on top for the last 10 minutes. They're pushing for a goal. Now the hydration breaks come in. Now the Ivory Coast manager can reset tactics, refresh things. And now all of a sudden Germany have lost their momentum that they've been working there in the heat for the last 10 minutes to fashion chances. So now they've lost all of their momentum and the tempo of the match is lost. So this hydration break is a waste of time. Abdul says, I hate how football and sport are going with sports. Oh, mate, I know, it's terrible, isn't it? But I don't know how old you are, Abdul. Feel free to let me know. I've been watching football for a long, long time. And, yeah, football sold its soul. It's as simple as that. And whether it wants to or not, it just keeps moving away and away from the sport that we knew. You used to watch football with Maverick? I don't know. I've lost that one. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. But feel free to let me know. Oh, with Maverick players. Okay, Zidane and Ronaldinho. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, those days are sadly long behind. Imagine you're watching the games at those times. Same as myself, loving that era and watching games from before. We don't see these types of players anymore. You know, players like take Shirky for example, fantastic player. And I hear you, brother. May you reach the 40th and many more. But yeah, Rayan Shirky, for example, fantastic player. But Rayan Shirky used to be, 15 years ago, there were 10, 15 Rayan Shirkys in world football. Now you have only one, because these players and systematic football is coming in and it's just taking over the game and we're losing the magic of football. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, magical players like Zidane and Ronaldinho, it's like a million years ago now. It's so sad. And you're seeing people like midway falling over on the right wing for England. Absolutely horrific. You hate racism in Bellingham. What did he do? You mean the racism against Jude Bellingham or something that he's done? I'm not aware of anything. And also, England fans, yeah. It's in! 1-0. There's a melee in the box. Is that Kessie? Kessié has given him the lead. And this is exactly what I was saying about the hydration break. Germany was on top in this game. They've had the hydration break. A few minutes later, Ivory Coast reset and they have the lead. Absolutely shambolic stuff. A mess in the box from the German squad. It breaks to, I think it was Ahmad that had a point blank. Somebody had a point blank. Saved by Neuer. Bounces back out. Kessié. Ahmad couldn't sort his feet out. Ball is cleared by who was that? It was clear. Anyway, it's cleared by a German player. Comes out to Kessié, who slots it neatly into the box. Hello, Peter. Welcome back to the chat, brother. England fans on Bellingham. I wasn't even aware that there was racism against Jude. I don't know why. Yeah, I do know why, because a lot of the efforts that went in for Croatia or the chances came from Bellingham mistakes, but he made up for it was obviously scoring a goal. Peter, welcome back, mate. Abdul is new to the channel. Absolutely having a good old time. Abdul Peter is one of the first people that joined my channel. Lovely guy, very knowledgeable. He's from Liverpool himself, and he's a Liverpool fan as well. So, Peter Abdul is a Liverpool fan. He's from Leeds as well. That great city. How come you don't support Leeds, Abdul? Is it a family thing? Let me know. Always interesting to know. And Peter, don't forget, my brother, drop a like on the stream. It all helps. Obviously, you've already hit the subscribe button. Anybody else in the chat, just remember, just takes a moment, close the chat, hit a like, and hit that subscribe button. It helps your boy Ade, the veteran arcade soldier, grow the channel and the community. Thank you so much. Ah, okay, cool. Good. Abdul definitely knows his stuff. Oh, so you've met before? Good. Nice to see you. So I'm at right wing now. Ball breaks. And what have Germany got in response? Nice to see you. Nice. You got me on it. I was literally thinking to do that actually, but yeah, I thought I'd leave it, but might as well. You opened the door, Peter, so I thought I'd walk through in the end. So, Diomande, what has he got here? Good fight here. Selling Kimmich a dummy, lays it back. Abdul says Leeds fans are racist and past history. Fair enough, brother. Fair enough. It's not a city I've been to myself. One day I will check it out. But yeah, they do have a bit of a reputation for certain things, and obviously there's Let's just not go there with certain things. I get it. I do get it. Yeah, it is what it is. And this is what I can't stand for myself. I come from I have a certain background of ethnicity in my lineage. And yeah, I've got no time for racism. Peter says, exciting to see Ivory Coast. It is, isn't it? It's a big surprise. I was saying to Abdul earlier that there's no real pace in the German attack, apart from down the left-hand side with Nathaniel Brown at left back and Leroy Sané, he was aging on the right wing. Abdul says, I live in a mixed community with black and South Asian people in Leeds. I hear that, my bro. There's obviously a big population in Leeds, and I've heard about some of the issues that are there, and it's a difficult one. I mean, I'm London born and bred, and London has changed so much in the last 30, 40 years, for example. It's a lot better than it was, but I can imagine that parts of the country, especially up north, sadly, are kind of like how London was 25, 30 years ago. It's a little bit behind still, but it is what it is, my man. We can only try and fly the flag and just try and promote and do better. Oh, you go to the carnival. What is there one in Leeds, or you mean Notting Hill Carnival, do you mean? I used to go quite a bit. I don't really go anymore. Young man's game and all that. I grew up a lot of black people, good people. Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is, though, people should be people, right? That's the problem. People should be people, as in good people. But sadly, it just doesn't always go like that, my bro, as you know. But Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's like, this is what I'm kind of on YouTube for, to enjoy my passions, my hobbies, share them with like-minded people. I've already met some nice people on YouTube so far, and it's been really good experience so far. No negatives yet, and hopefully the negatives will stay away. I'm a very thick-skinned person anyway, so I'm not bothered about things. I tackle issues, discrimination and problems. I tackle those things head on anyway. I don't mind a challenge, so it's all good. But I'm quite an optimistic and a positive person in my life anyway, and I believe that good karma will send good things your way at the end of the day. So yeah, I have no fears for any potential negativity in the future, but it's all good. It is all good. Of course, yes. I mean, yeah. Obviously, there was that spate, wasn't there, last week with all of the issues regarding cancer diagnosis. Obviously, there was Kevin Keegan. That one sounds bad. To be fair, stage 4, not great. Obviously, Barnes. There was a little bit, and obviously King Kenny as well. Yeah, John Barnes. That was my favourite player growing up. Absolutely love John Barnes. Some of his takes do irritate me a little bit. A little bit. Sometimes he wants to be a bit too clever, I think sometimes, but. Do love John Barnes, but yeah, certain things when he kept going on about supporting Slot, I was like, no, come on, man, we've seen enough. I get sometimes footballers, they're in that bubble where they want to give support to other players and managers, but Slot had the season, so after that, it was the right decision. Simple as that. Right, Germany have a man down. Bonnie, goes for the curler, but you're not going to beat Neuer from there. Not even a 40-year-old Neuer are you going to beat from there. Right. Musiala, edge of the box. Left side, is he fouled? Pushed in the face, it goes down. Ahmad plays a risky pass across the goal. Peter, I haven't been impressed with Diomande today. I mean, he kind of played a big part in the goal, but other than that, is this going to be it? Germany put it in. Kai Havertz runs off, but it's a foul. It's a foul. I don't know why they carried on playing it. It was obvious. Oh, yeah, definitely a foul. He gets cleaned out. Musiala cleans out. Musiala cleans out Kosunu there. And Kai Havertz knocks it into an empty net. So it's clearly a foul and definitely not a goal. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So Abdul, so you're big on the YouTube football content. What Liverpool channels do you like yourself? Let me know. Yeah, Peter, sorry, I can't remember if I just repeated myself now, but yeah, Yan Diomande, I haven't been very impressed with this game so far, mate. Looking like Honestly, when you're paying £100 million, you want someone with a Zidane pillow touch. He's got concrete boots, mate. Honestly. Right, ball played into the box, cleared. Ahmad, what a touch that was. Nathaniel Brown, the one player you don't want to be going up against, one of the paciest players. He doesn't go forward for free kicks, Nathaniel Brown, because he's a very slight player, very small player. Abdul says, you like Fams on TV and Anfield Irishman. Okay. Right, ball in the middle of the box. Florian Wirtz, not brave in the shot there. Needed to put his foot through that. I've heard of Anfield Irishman. I haven't checked him. I know there's definitely a check, because obviously a lot of people will watch Anfield Agenda, and obviously that Craig is, the Irish chap that runs it. But yeah, I know there's an Anfield Irishman, but I've never checked his channel. Any good? You recommend it? Famzone TV, I know it's the guy called Dean. I've seen him on other channels. 5-hour stream, Anfield Irishman. Oh, wow. So good talks and good debates, right? Fair enough. Oof. Good chances. Like, what does he do? Conversational pieces? Let me know. I plan to do my own ones once the season starts. And at certain select moments. But at the end of the day, I've only got a very small community, so I need to have a slightly bigger community before I can invest time to do a Q&A talking session. But yeah, I definitely want to do that in the future. Hopefully you'll be around to join me. He goes off rails. Yeah, I would imagine so. It's 5 hours, a lot to talk about. But I guess obviously it depends if you've got a lot to say as well. And sometimes it's a lot easier during the season, etc. 5-hour streams every day. It's a phone-in. Every day. 5 hours. Wow. Okay. I only talk about LFC issues. Yeah, I hear that, bro. I hear you, Abdul. I hear that. So if he does 5-hour streams daily, it's a phone-in. So when you say a phone-in, what? From other YouTubers or just people can call up? Like via the phone? Or, interesting? I think every day is a bit heavy. Personally, it's a bit too... Random people on Discord. Okay. Interesting. I might check it out, see what it's all about. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, each to their own. He can do what he wants to do, right? It's his channel. Yeah, 5 hours every day. 5 hours every day is a hell of a lot. And sometimes I think, like, especially during, say, things like last season, I think where it's a positive. Peter says, yes, anyone can phone in, but he has 8 to 10 regulars. Fair enough. I think what is good in a way, and something I wanted to do when I was younger, is I was actually gonna make a company where you could call in, maybe not on a premium line, and this is before, I'm talking about a long time, I'm talking about 20 years ago. I'll give an example. When I was 17 or 18, I used to take football more seriously. If Liverpool had a bad result, it would ruin my weekend. To the point where, imagine I made plans to go out on a Friday or Saturday night, and Liverpool lost. I'd be fuming. I'd be like, I'm not going, lads. I can't bother. I'm not in the mood for it anymore. It's silly things like that. And sometimes it's good to have an outlet to get your football angst issues off your head. So I wanted to do something where people could call in, actually call up on the phone, have a chat, maybe type on a basic IRC channel, just let their frustrations out, have a little chat about the team, get out of the system, and then go out for the evening or whatever. Because as we know, people could take football too seriously. There's people that will suffer domestic violence through football, as crazy as it seems, but it happens. So, I thought it'd be a worthwhile thing. But 5 hours every day, imagine during the Arne Slot season, like you'll be venting a vicious circle of negativity every day. And I think it's good to talk, but you don't want to talk about the same stuff every day is what I'm getting at. But I think something like that I'd like to do on my channel, maybe like once a week, something like that. Discuss the game, discuss who we'd like to see, what we thought of this player, who we'd like to see come in, things like that. But, yeah. Abdul says, no one in Leeds talks to me about LFC. My friend told me about a live stream on LFC. I hear that, my man. I'm assuming, obviously, in Leeds, it's obviously mostly, Leeds fans, obviously. Obviously, you're going to have Barnsley down the road from you as well, Yorkshire teams, etc. But yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the internet. It helps you connect with people, like-minded people. We are 7 minutes additional time here. Thoroughly enjoying my chat with Abdul today and Peter, of course. Sane definitely has lost a bit of pace. You can tell. Not electric like he was. Peter says, I haven't got 25 minutes footy talk. Casual support. And I hear you, Peter. I hear you. In Leeds, United, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. Really? I'm quite surprised. I would have thought... Oh, let's have a look here. One of the last chances here. Ball floated into the middle. Havertz goes to take it down. Musiala with a rocket there. Nemecha, sorry. Singo, lovely. Pushing out now. Nemecha, fast, powerful, strong. Just takes the ball back. Absolutely. What an athlete this Nemecha has turned into. He is solid. Abdul says, in Leeds, it's United, City, Chelsea and Arsenal. I'm really surprised. Abdul says, 5-hour stream is mental. And it is, mate, honestly. I think what I'd like to do, or what I will be doing next season, I will do some watch-alongs. So hopefully I'll have some people come in to sit with me, talk with me while the game's happening. Share our chat, our thoughts, our passions, etc. And then maybe afterwards you can stay online and stream for an hour and a half, maybe talking, even that seems a bit long, maybe an hour after the game. Musiala dancing through two, goes down in the box looking, you're getting nothing surely. Nah, he's getting nothing for that. Get up, Jamal Musiala. That's ridiculous. But yeah, 5-hour stream is mental, and daily as well. Nah, hell no. There's too much to do in life. You know, Liverpool's important. But, you know, I'm pretty sure it was Shankly that said it. Football is the most important thing of the non-important things. So, you know, family, your career, your children, your loved ones, your relationships. These are the important things. Your mental health, your physical health. These are the important things. And then after that, yeah, football can be important. But 5 hours streaming every day, just to chat about it. Not enough happens. Like you said, Peter, you got 25 minutes. To be fair, I've got more in me than that. And I know you do too, but I get the sentiment. Yeah. Talking about Liverpool FC for 5 hours is mental. Right, Bonnie drives into the box. But it's a corner. I mean, that foul, going back looking at the Musiala thing, it probably was a foul, but he falls into the penalty box. Probably was a foul, edge of the box, to be honest. A little bit unlucky there, Musiala. So we're 4 minutes in. We've got 3 minutes additional time. Ivory Coast with a corner. Abdul says, I like breakdown analysis and structured topics and everyone talk one by one. I hear you, my man. I hear you. That's the thing. There's some brilliant content. Peter says, think the event horizon has been passed by loads of LFC fans for Diomande transfer. Big risk, though, at 100 plus. Oh, mate, it's a massive risk. Honestly, he looks like he's got the world on his shoulders today. He looks like a man who knows he's being watched. And that's the problem when you put pressure on a youngster. Maybe he's not going to be that guy. Once the pressure's on. Big price tag on him. You could ruin someone. Do you know what I mean? We've seen it 100 times. Yeah, back to Abdul, what he said about breakdown analysis. I mean, there's some fantastic channels that really break down the tactics and whatnot. They educate you and help you pick things out that you might not necessarily see yourself. There's just obviously a wide range of things. Myself personally, Oh, Diomande darts into the box. Great pace to keep it in play. Kimmich, good battle with him. Yeah, I'm about the vibes and positivity, enjoying the game, and discussing how games go, etc. Hopes and dreams, what we aspire to, predictions, etc. And the ebb and flow of the match and what we saw and what went wrong. That's the kind of thing. That's about as deep as I would go. Abdul says we need to go back to 21 to 25 euros, 30 million to 60 million, 100%. But that's the thing. That's what this Victor Munoz is. That's why he fits into that category, like you say. So that's the first one. But yeah, this buy at 100 million for Diomande is wild. Wirtz knocks it out wide to Brown. Musiala. I'll come back to these last few in a minute. Brown, Pavlovic, looking for the 1-2. Ivory Coast defending very, very compact. The mid-block to low block here. Germany with a lot of possession, but cannot break down. Right. I'll come back to those comments in a second. Germany on the attack. The half-time is winding down. Wirtz now, edge of the box, the number 7. Wirtz in the box. Stabs at it. It does a lot. Florian Wirtz doing a bit too much. Needed to let one go a bit earlier. But good feet from Florian Wirtz. Right, let's come back to these. Yeah, as you said, Abdul, I agree, mate. We need to get back to more of the 21 to 20, 24, 25 year olds, 30 to 60 million, 100%. The problem is the 40 million is the 60 million is the new 40 million, right? So like you say, I understand what the sentiment though. That's what we need to do. Peter says, Abdul, you would love MRI Tribe. He does top analysis on Liverpool. Never heard of that one. And yeah, we do need squad depth, mate. 100% we need squad depth. We've lost so many players over the last few seasons, through the tragedies of Jota and obviously Konate leaving. We've got other holes that are developing as well. Conor Bradley, obviously injured and whatnot. We've lost players. Obviously Jota, sadly, last year as well. Luis Diaz wasn't replaced. We've got Ekatike out until at least the new year. Boxing Day, they're saying. And what good is he going to be next season? He's going to need about 2-3 months to get fit. So we might see him back in action of, say, about March. So we definitely have squad depth issues, 100%. I predicted during the summer, at the end of the season, we need minimum 7 players, and promoting players to not just first team, but actually using them, like Trey Morris Nioni. Sorry, we need to be using this guy next season, actually using him. We've got to start using some of these strikers, the peripheral strikers. Jaden Dance, get him fit. Will Wright, we've got to use him. We've got to get these guys integrated in the first team. Basetic might be a bit of a lost cause, but we need to start getting these guys on the pitch and giving them games. And that's another thing. Oh, mate, 100%. You nailed it. We need leaders, 100%. People complain about Van Dijk's leadership. I'm not the biggest fan of Van Dijk as captain. I think he's good enough. He's probably the best we have. But, Curtis Jones we're going to lose. So we need players. Other than that, you don't really see that spark. So we definitely need. Peter says Jaden Danz I really like him. I think he's got everything you need to be a striker that can obviously get to a couple of levels from where he is now. 100%. He's someone that we definitely should be promoting, but obviously he cannot stay fit at the moment. But yeah, we do need some leaders, Abdul. 100%. We need some leaders. Right, forgot to stop the clock. Let's stop that and reset it. A few in the chat lurking. Feel free to say hello, join the conversation. You've got us three Liverpool fans here. Me, Peter, myself, Ade, the veteran arcade soldier, Peter, and Abdul in the chat. Feel free to join us. Don't forget to hit the like button on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Abdul says, what do I think of Micah Richards? He grew up in Leeds. I didn't know that. Obviously, I assume he grew up in Leeds and obviously went to Manchester to play football in his teens, I imagine. I quite like Micah Richards. I mean, some of his takes, I don't like it when he talks about Man City. But I think there's a lot of I'll come back to Micah Richards, but there's a lot of pundits that do this thing where they're all right talking about football. But when it comes to their team, it just completely goes out the window. And I just can't stand that. That really gets on my nerves. But as for Micah Richards, he's got some all right takes. He's a likeable chap anyway. I know he had a few issues in his playing career in terms of off-the-pitch stuff. And I know some of the stories and stuff that he got up to. So not the greatest. But he's been very good outside of the game. He's done very well. And to be fair, he definitely loves football because, believe me, he's so minted, he does not need it for the money. He's made some great business decisions. He's made a hell of a lot of money outside of football. Way more than he ever did in his career. So he doesn't need to do this. So... yeah, I quite like Micah Richards myself. I think he's all right. I don't mind him. I quite like bubbly, fun personalities. He can be a little bit over the top sometimes, but I think you need that sometimes, that little contrast, because you've got, you know, the moody Roy Keane approach, which I like as well. So I like a lot of the personality contrast. Yeah, how about yourself? What do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are on Big Meeks. And, yeah, Mika's as happy as a multi-million. Yeah, exactly. But to be fair, he seems like the kind of guy to be happy regardless. So, yeah, I do think I don't mind. There's not really many football pundits I dislike, put it that way. I'm trying to think, who don't I like as a pundit? I don't know. I kind of enjoy all pundits, to be honest. Trying to think who I don't like. Not many, to be fair. Micah Richards, he's a funny guy. He is a very funny guy. Very likeable. I'm not sure. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes people got too much money. Apparently, he gets 2 or 3 haircuts a week, spending £250 a time. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that sort of stuff. You know, it's the kind of thing where I think you've got so much money, you could be doing better things for it. That could be paying for, you know, meals for people, or you could be sending it abroad to help people. But, you know, sometimes people with money, they become a little bit, what's the word? You know, they lose track of their ways and everything, and what is kind of, well, obviously it's my opinion, but what's right and wrong in this world. And I wouldn't be spending money like that on that diva. Yeah, there's a diva in that way, and I get it. You've got to play up to a certain part of your personality and whatnot, but that is a lot to be wasting. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that is unnecessary beyond belief. 3-4 haircuts a week. I mean, come on now. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. And this guy's spending $250 every 2 days. You know, that's just criminal. You know, literally his barber is nicking a living, because we're talking about a touch-up. He must need a touch-up every 3 days. Crazy. But I gave my son 20 quid today to get his haircut. I weren't happy about it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, pundits, I'm trying to think. You know, like people moan about Carragher and Neville. I don't really mind it. I'm someone that I don't care about. I've met footballers. Not loads of them, but I've met footballers. You know, I've chatted to people from all walks of life. Do you know what I mean? I've seen people in distressed states in a professional standpoint. I've seen the best of humanity, and I've seen the worst of humanity. But when it comes to footballers, I'm not interested in them off the pitch. I do not care. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've shook hands with footballers. I've met them. I've had chats with them and whatnot. But I don't care about. They're just human beings. They are no better than me. They are no worse than me. Human beings, whatever. Everybody's poo stinks basically. So nobody is above anyone. So they're just people. Off the pitch, they will do all of the crappy things that people do. They will do all of the good things that people do. Whether it's charity, whether it's cheating, whether it's drugs, whether it's drink, whether it's whatever, fornication, whatever. People, they're just humans at the end of the day. Abdul says, I like Lawrence. Lawrenson, you mean? Hansen and O'Neill as pundits. Fair enough. Martin O'Neill, yeah, interesting. Alan Hansen, yeah, did like a good old jockey. Alan Hansen. Obviously, he's another one that had his illnesses. But sadly as well, a lot of the time, these are older players now. Hansen, they get phased out, don't they? So we haven't seen Hansen as a pundit now for like 6-7 years. And obviously they moved on all of the older ones as well, from like Sky Sports and whatnot. I'm not a massive fan of Clinton Morrison. A little bit of a donut. He tries to play up to a certain thing, and I'm not a big fan of him, to be honest. A lot of people don't like Paul Merson. I actually quite like Paul Merson. I don't mind him. He tries to be a bit funny, but he does talk a lot of sense. That's the thing. These guys are ex-pros. They know the game. But a lot of people don't like Gary Neville. A lot of people don't like Carragher. A lot of people don't like Merson. I like them all, to be honest. The only thing is, when Gary Neville starts talking about Man United, it does get a bit silly sometimes. Like, come on. Like, let's relax a bit. Stop predicting them to come third every season. I mean, he got it right this season, but obviously a broken clock is right twice a day. So, yeah. So that's my take on pundits. Let me know who else. Peter, who do you like yourself? I know Peter listens a lot through radio, so you're going to have a lot of the radio pundits. Yeah. Half time on my channel. I like to go through the statistics of the match, but I won't bother because I'm enjoying the chat. But I am going to quickly go get some water and have a toilet break. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. Feel free to throw anything in the chat and I'll address it when I'm back. Okay, back again from a quick break. Peter says, I'm not really into pundits, but he loved Andy Townsend back in La Liga back in the day. I don't mind a bit of Andy Townsend. He's a nice enough chap. Good player as well. Underrated. Came up through the ranks, non-league, etc. And got to a top standard. Prem level, obviously. Thank you, Abdul, my man. Absolute pleasure. All right, make sure everything's working all right. Yep. Oh, give me 2 seconds, actually. Two seconds. Second half has kicked off. Second half's kicked off and we're back. Let's get the screen back up. Apologies. So yes, we're back underway. And let's see what Germany can bring up in the second half. Want to see more from Jan Diomande, definitely. I'll tell you what though, actually, look, speaking as a Liverpool fan, if he has, actually saying that, we need him to have a bit of a stinker in the second half. Because if he carries on, then they can't up the price anymore, can they? If he does any more, if he wraps one in from 30 yards, then it adds another 5 mil to the price tag. Here he is. Lays it into the middle, crap cross. Peter says, might see some movement on the Diomande deal after this game. Yeah, I think so, mate. I think it'll be wrapped up by tomorrow or Monday, to be honest, personally speaking. I think it's come too far now, and they're going to want it done and dusted. Abdul says, we need to scrap League Cup, Nation League and Conference. Well, World Cup 26-48 team 2, 100%, mate. And do you know what's the mad thing, Abdul? Tell me if you're the same as me. The Nations League has been here for about 4 years now. Do you even understand it? I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. I know that obviously you have that group phase, and then you get to some kind of knockout bit, and it does some weird kind of permutation. I don't even understand it. Nobody watches it. Ooh, Tar nearly gave it away. VAR nearly gave it. Nation League is confusing. It's not just confusing, it's hella confusing. It makes no sense. And it's such a waste of time. Doesn't achieve anything. And even when you ask somebody, who won the Nations League? Nobody knows. Do you know what I mean? I just remember it was Portugal. And I think it was Netherlands before that. They beat England in the final. We couldn't even win that as a nation. But yeah, absolutely horrific competition. All it does is add way too many mileage, too many legs, too many miles on the clock, basically. Absolutely disgusting. Abdul says, Europe League winners, Villa versus UCL PSG winner. What is Conference League about? Oh, mate. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Somebody out my window acting the fool. Oh, mate, yeah. But that's the thing. It's just a greed of football. Right, so Musiala. Ooh. Yeah, it is nonsense because ultimately the Europa League has been kind of destroyed in recent years. All of the teams, when they changed it to obviously have, you know, however long ago that was now, about 16 years ago, when you had the Champions League teams dropping down into Europa League. When I was growing up, the Europa League, obviously it was known as UEFA Cup back then. That competition was just as good as the European Cup / Champions League. Just as good. The quality was absolutely amazing. I think myself and Peter are a little bit older than you, Abdul, but Peter will tell you that the UEFA Cup back in the day was unbelievable. Fofana lays it out now. Right, Bonnie now with a touch. Chased down by Tar. Into the corner. Holds it up nicely. Abdul says UCL football is Tuesday and Wednesday. Europa League and Conference League is Thursday. I mean, it's just it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. And that's the thing. We also had it in a group stages because it's expanded. There was even Champions League games on Thursday last season as well, which is just, what is that all about? Cameron, welcome back. Welcome back, bro. UEFA was special. It was, mate. UEFA Cup was special. Really enjoyed those days. But they've just diluted it. That's basically what it is, isn't it? It's dilution. Some of these competitions have been diluted. And now the conference is just crazy. You're seeing the Conference Cup, Abdul. You're seeing games with teams that you've never even heard of. Do you know what I mean? With the most, it's like random made up names. Ooh. Good chance for Kessier there. Played in by Amad Diallo. Centre of the box. Exactly, Abdul. All money, money, money. That's just what this world is all about, sadly. The beauty, and me and Peter was talking on my previous stream, because this is the second game I've done today. Myself and Peter were talking about the beauty of the game and, for what the game was all about. It's just, yeah, it is sad. Sad, sad times. Right, at least so Germany has started poorly. Amad Diallo, right wing, into the box. Cuts back inside. Oh! Big chance there. Wow. And Zhao, he has a great opportunity, the youngster. I haven't even seen this player before. Very diminutive, very fast, very exciting. He kind of made the goal with Amad Diallo. Well, made the opportunity with Amad Diallo. Got himself back into the box after 1-2 and blazed it over. Should have done better. All right, what have Germany got? They need to do something. Sane, back and forth. Peter says Wirtz should be running this game surely. Mate, Wirtz is running nothing. I think he's been pretty anonymous. He's been, I would say, out of all of the attackers on the pitch, and I'm talking about attackers, I'm talking about, the people in the more forward positions, a.k.a. even Musiala, Leroy Sané, Florian Wirtz, and Kai Havertz. I think Wirtz has been the most anonymous. So, very disappointing. Wirtz puts one across. Oh, Havertz tries to take it with a back heel, turn, swivel, but he gets it all wrong. That was a good cross from Florian Wirtz, just as you mentioned him. Kessier wins the ball nicely. Abanao, a lot of play going down the right wing with Amad. Ooh, big chance. Yeah, I know, Pete, a bit like when I was talking about Brian Brobby earlier. Mr. Brobby. Worst hat-trick incoming. Nah, definitely not. I do want Florian Wirtz to come back to Liverpool, well, fit and healthy, first of all. I want him to come back after a good World Cup. It's a big season for Florian next season. He's the one I'm funny enough, apart from injuries that could hold back Isak, I've got no worries about Isak. He will come good. But Florian Wirtz, I'm very worried about. Abdul, yourself, how do you feel about Florian Wirtz first season? And are you worried about him next season? I'm worried about Florian Wirtz. He was looking good at one point up to March after a nice little period between January and February, getting a lot of goals and a good few assists, and he was starting to kind of semi-run games. But the little injury he had, he was anonymous from say April onwards. He was absolutely anonymous. Oof. Germany are shaky at the back here. They are shaky as anything. Peter says, be a massive shame if we don't get the best out of it. Oh, it will be, mate. It will be. Sangare turns in the box. Diomande with a volley opportunity, 18 yards out, gets it all wrong. And it's a goal kick. Another poor effort from Diomande. Whether it's passing or shooting, he has not got his boots on today. I would go as far as to say Diomande's game today has been so mediocre that Liverpool can actually drop the price. I'm not even joking. Obviously, it's not based on one game, obviously, but yeah, he has not been impressive at all. But then neither have Germany. Ivory Coast have more than deserved this lead. Maybe not when they took the lead. It was probably against the run of play. But Germany have not responded, put it that way. Germany have been very poor. And there will be question marks back home in Germany, that is for sure. Because they have looked very, very average and very one-paced, as I think I pointed out in the first half. Rudiger blazes one over. Absolutely skies it. All right, big kick out from Fofana. Wow, that looked like a foul from Tar on Bonnie, if you ask me. Right, let's catch up with some of these. Abdul says, Wirtz and Isak needs to come good. Bro, 100%. 100% they do. Are you worried about either of them? That's the thing, though, Abdul. I'm worried about Florian Wirtz. And Gary, welcome to the chat again, bro. Good to see you again, my man. How are you doing? Gary says, yo, boys. Don't forget the ladies, though, Gary. We do have Natasha, resident queen of the channel. She pops in from time to time, as you know. Usually either at the beginning of the match or sometimes at the end. Always a pleasure to hear from Natasha. Big Liverpool fan. Always up to date with the scoops of transfers in and around football. She is an absolute diamond, is Natasha. Sane facing up Conan. That was some funky defending there. Musiala, no, number 10 in the box. Has he won a corner? Yes, he has. Right, Kimmich. Delivery straight into Fofana's hands. Going to go for the quick break. And Ahmad fails to take it in his stride there. Good opportunity there. Kai Havertz going down in a heap. I thought Kai Havertz had done some strength training. Apparently he was more robust. But he's still going down like the same sack of potatoes that we've seen in the Prem. Musiala off. Pavlovic off. Sane off. Surely Undav is coming on. Try and rescue this game. Undav, Llewellyn and Amiri. Abdul said, is your son an LFC fan? Yeah, I've got 3 sons. One is a Chelsea fan. But he doesn't really follow football that much. My middle son's not really into football. And my youngest son, he's a big Liverpool fan. And he plays football. So yeah, that's the family. That's the little family history there. 3 sons. And my youngest plays football. My son plays football in a development league at the moment, and he plays like basically semi-pro level. He's very good, and he's a big Liverpool fan. How about yourself? Children yourself? Are they into football, or you still haven't gone down the child route? I had children quite early in life, and I am glad that it is done. And there will be no more. There will be no more children coming from this veteran arcade soldier. There will be no more. I hear that, my man. Maybe one day that will change. Obviously, that's your choice as well, obviously. Raising children in this country, not easy. Especially when you have challenging partners, should we say. Challenging partner, should I say. My boys all have the same mum, so yeah. One of my childhood friends, not friend actually, but childhood kind of family stroke friend anyway. Yeah, but he's got 11 children. This is at the last count, by the way. I don't know how many he's got now, but I'm sure it's about the same. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, but he's got 11 children with 10 different women. Absolute lunatic. It's the kind of thing you don't even think is possible, but it is possible. 11 children with 10 different women. How crazy is that? Abdul says, hard to get along with women. To be honest with you, I get it. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, ultimately, I'll be real. Like I've been a single dad most of my life, and I have my sons. I've raised my sons. So, but yeah, I've spent the majority of my time, adult life, being single. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's 10 women, and obviously that's just the women he's had children with. So I don't even want to know what else he's been up to. 11 kids and 10 mums. Return of the Mac. It is. Come on. Yeah, he is on a mad one. 11 kids, yep. And remember, big chance. Fofana, the goalkeeper, missed it. Havertz. Kai Havertz coming in on the blind side, back stick, heads it wide. Obviously, there's a lot of bodies in the box. I think it would have been cleared off the line even if Havertz had got it on target. It's a difficult opportunity. But yeah, that was at last count. 11 kids, 10 mums. And yeah, it's like I've got my... yeah, exactly, football team, yeah. No, I hear that, Abdul. Everyone is different, my man. Everyone is different. There's one of them things. It's like in certain spheres and certain aspects of life, there's like, it's on. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind. I get on with anyone, personally speaking. But I don't go out of my way to befriend loads of women. Put it that way, because what is the point, right? there's an agenda. Usually an agenda to these things, and obviously, the more women you get to know, the more problematic it's likely to be, depending on your good nutmeg there. Depending on your orientation, depending on your sexual orientation, it's like you can't have loads of I wouldn't want to have 10, 11 female friends, because that's going to be a problem. Because, yeah, it's going to be a problem, especially if they're attractive. It's going to be an issue. So you got to keep your mind in check. But some people love all of the chase and some people love the problems. Me personally, my adult life has been nothing but problems, and I've been on the periphery of my life, juggling the problems that other people have caused me. A certain one person. But anyway, some guys pull birds easily. I can't. I speak the truth. No, fair enough, bro. Everyone's different. I've done all right, to be fair, in my life. I've done all right. But, it's about how much trouble do you want. And yeah, I like peace. So, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. The thing is that, the whole thing, you pulling birds or whatever, of pulling, finding ladies, it's not that effort. Like, the more effort you put in, you'll reach success. People can find success if they want it. It just depends how much you want it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So Germany having a bit more possession and more, and the pressure's building on on Ivory Coast. The pressure's building, but the problem that you'll find for Germany is in a few minutes' time they're going to have a hydration break, so they're going to lose their momentum, and it falls back into the hands of the Ivory Coast again. So. Yes, here we are. So this keeper is down. Fofana is down, getting treatment, when he was fouled by Kosunu, his own centre-back, fouled him, and he's down. And so the German fans are booing like crazy, and they have every right to, because the Ivory Coast keeper was brought down by his own player, and they're getting away with it. We're gonna have the hydration break shortly, and Germany are about to, like I said, to lose their momentum, which is just awful, because these hydration breaks are absolutely scandalous. Goal, surely. Yes, it's in. I didn't mean yes as in a tackle, but Undav. Undav has scored. Or is it Amiri? Who is it? Pretty sure it's Undav. That was a great crossing goal. They're showing Thomas Muller and Mats Hummels. Amiri picked up the ball on the right-hand side, put in a beautiful cross, and Undav has rushed in. And it was a great finish, actually, because he kept the shot down. Yeah, he kept the finish down, Undav. Undav, who was on loan at Brighton, or was there for a year at least, and did absolutely nothing, got injured. And Undav was a player that did really well in the Belgian league about 2.5 seasons ago. Had a year in at Brighton and did literally absolutely nothing. Could not get on. When he did get on the pitch, did nothing. Was injured the majority of the time. But he's reinvented his career, and he's lit up the world's biggest stage and hit a controlled volley from Amiri's right wing cross. And he did really well to keep it down, I think. He was quite close to the goal, but oh my God. Thought Germany were going to just take the lead instantly there. But yeah, great finish from Undav. Kept the shot down, kept it under the net where, put it this way, that was the kind of chance. That was the kind of chance that, hydration break again. That was the kind of chance that that we saw float in many a time from Trent to Darwin Núñez. And Darwin Núñez would not have scored that goal. He would have blazed that over. Right, hydration break is on the way. So Germany in full control of this game. I feel it's going to be a long 20 minutes for Ivory Coast. They haven't mustered much for the last 15 minutes. Germany have taken control of this game. The hydration break should have happened by now. Oh, sorry, Peter. I missed your message. Peter says, I thought the data from prolonged stoppages pointed to increased risk of injury. Exactly, mate. Exactly that. That's what we've grown up with football. They've said that, when you have breaks in play, people, when the players start to cool down and the muscles start to get cool and then they go back to 100 miles an hour again, you get these hamstring pulls or strains and tears, etc. But no, these guys are taking 3-minute breaks and there's no issue. But yes, we're in the hydration break. And I think the hydration break at this point has come at a very good time for Ivory Coast. Because it felt like Germany were, marching for a second. But this is what we saw in the first half. Germany on top. Hydration break. Bang. Ivory Coast scored. So will we see a repeat? Yep. 1-1, as Abdul says. 1-1. It's a great finish. Honestly, that's such a great finish. Even though he's like only 4 or 5 yards out, like that is so hard to control and keep that under the bar. That was sensational, that finish. Peter says, let's see if Ivory Coast can hold out. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It depends how they start, I reckon, Peter, this last... as the cameraman finds the good-looking girl in the crowd again. These cameramen are next level perverts, honestly. Honestly, these cameramen are absolutely next level perverts. It is insane. Yeah. So let's see if... do you know what? They just showed the Ivory Coast manager run back from the tunnel. So he didn't use it as an opportunity to update the tactics. Maybe he just went to the toilet at the wrong time. But yeah, let's see if they can hold out, Gary. It will be good. I think they deserve it overall on a balance of play. And Gary said, good game, tense. It is, mate. It is very, very good. And it is definitely tense, my brother. Abdul says, cameraman man, if culture? If culture? What, if? You'll have to explain that one. I don't get that one, my man. But yeah, it's just the usual. I mean, to be honest with you, every tournament, you expect the cameraman to do that. Do you know what I mean? Not expect, because you want them to. But they just do it. It's just like, yeah. And then what they do, Abdul, is that they find 5 or 6 women in a row, and then on the 7th one, they show like one older person and a child, just to make out it's family orientated. When in reality, all they're doing is finding the lady in the crowd. Man of culture zooming in. Yeah. Exactly. Sexist world we live in, my man. Sexist world we live in. Right, hydration break is over. Game is underway. Has this given Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivory, the chance to recalibrate and reset? Germany seem like they've adjusted to the mid to low block that Ivory Coast were deploying, and Germany were well on top before the hydration break. Peter says, we're entering the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, here we go. Next touchdown wins. That's it, mate. New Jersey. You talking to me? I'll take you down the back, man. New Jersey. We sorted it out. Wow, Fofana in midfield is on. I think he plays at RC Lens. He's just bodying people in midfield. Absolute beast of a unit of a man. And is that Guessond that has come on as well? Let me just double check. Is that Guessond? The man that won 2 European trophies in a season. Yes, Guessond is on for Bonnie. Simon Adringa of Sunderland is on for Amad Diallo of Man United. And Ibrahima Sangare is off for Said Fofana, who plays in Ligue 1. Absolute unit of a man. Built like Lukaku. So, I'd say that, loose touch there in midfield from Ulai. Oh, is that going to be yellow? No, game is being allowed to flow. Referee is not pulling anything back. But there's a German player down and there's an Ivory Coast player down. And he gets up, the Ivory Coast player, when he realises that his team has got the ball. These clowns, honestly. Honestly, if I play football, I would never stop. Because everyone's cheating. Just get up. Fraud behaviour. Abdul says, still time for Gem to go. 100%. There is still time. And I must apologise, not that it matters to anyone, but when Germany scored, I was like, yes, goal. Like I was celebrating a Germany goal. I wasn't. It was just the fact of, I love the cross and you know, it's good to see a goal, but I didn't mean the yes part. Oh, great turn from Brown. Dummied, what is this guy's name again? Right, Diomande, what's he got? Tearing up the right wing. Faced up by Jonathan Tah. Oh, he didn't play it. Indecisive. He's in his own head. Jonathan Tah versus Diomande is a battle that would have been seen in the Bundesliga a few times last season. Tah at Bayern Munich, of course, and Diomande at Leipzig. But yes, today I have not been. This is the worst game I've seen. I've seen 4 games now of Diomande, and this is easily the worst game. The other 3 games were very good. But this game, he's been awful. I would literally say he's been awful. Camera shows Nick Waltermada warming up on the sidelines. Nick Waltemada is a very interesting looking chap. 6'9", I think he is, whatever he is. Something crazy, 6'7" or whatever. He looks a cross between a musketeer and a porn star. That is what he looks like. A very lanky German musketeer stroke porn star. That's what he looks like. So, Singo has gone down, holding his hamstring. His game is run. Nagelsmann's gone absolutely apoplectic on the side. Singo goes down. Challenged by Havertz. He's tried to go past Havertz. His hamstring's gone. Nagelsmann is fuming, saying what's going on. Thinks that he's play acting. He hasn't though. He hasn't really recovered. Surely he hasn't recovered. If he's recovered, then you can imagine. Let's have a look. Is he still on the pitch? Okay, yeah. So Ivory Coast, they're gonna make the change. Right, Ivory Coast with a break. Ooh, he's sat out wide to Diomande, surely. Right, Diomande, what has he got? Right side, jogging into the box. Poor pass. Just pass it straight to Florian Wirtz, who fouls him in the process. That was another awful bit of play from Jan Diomande. Another lady in the crowd with the Tina Turner white hair that the cameraman is on. Abdul says, no eye-catching games on a Sunday. Yes, mate, exactly. That's why I'm taking Sunday off. Going to give myself something better to do because the games tomorrow are not the ones. Singo on the bench now with his head in his shirt. Obviously, he probably feels like his World Cup is over. His World Cup is over. So Doué is on. This is the brother of Desiree Doué. Desiree Doué's slightly older brother. I think his name is Gueva Doué. He's on. He also plays in Ligue 1 like his bro. And he plays right back. Replacing Singo, who's gone down and probably out of the tournament with a hamstring. Oh, wow. He just got cooked. Doué absolutely just thundered by the Germany defender there. Abdul says, RB God. Would you take him? Oh no, I don't know anything about him. I know where he plays, but I've never seen him play, so I couldn't rate him like that. But yeah, he's Doué's older brother. I remember reading he's 23 years of age, plays in the French league. Never seen him play. Obviously, he's going to have the physical attributes of Desiree Doué, very similar. He's just run past a player just now. He absolutely left him for dead, put in a decent cross. But, that is just the first experience I've had of Gueva Doué's footballing career. Ooh, for final with a chance. But considering that he's 23 and is kind of relatively unknown and still playing in the French league, I would say that he probably doesn't have that kind of ceiling. Guessond, trying to turn past Tar, but cannot. So since the hydration break, Ivory Coast has has come back into the game. And it's become a 50-50 again. Jan Diomande is coming off. I would say that was not the greatest audition for a move to Liverpool. Let's put it that way. And on comes ex-Arsenal forward Nicolas Pepe. Coming on. And also Leon Goretzka coming on to replace Kai Havertz. Peter says, I thought Ivory Coast would end up under siege. Yeah, I did as well. And to be honest with you, Peter, if it wasn't for the hydration break, maybe it happens. But it gave them a chance to reset. And the thing is, though, it definitely wasn't even tactical either because the manager wasn't even there for the hydration break. He came down the tunnel with about 10 seconds to go of the hydration break, quickly went up to the players, and they went back. So it didn't even change anything. It just gave them the chance to reset. And that is the problem with this hydration break. Absolute joke. But yeah, Diomande comes off after playing 85 minutes. Did not impress at all, even though he did help make the goal. But he was the second phase before the... Undev goes for a strike. Stings the palms of Fofana in goal. But yeah, Diomande, sorry, in the first phase of the goal, but not the key second phase. Ugh. Yeah, going back to your earlier comment, Gary, glad that you are enjoying the game, mate. And thank you, as usual, for dropping into the chat and saying hello. Always a pleasure, bro. Right, referee has spotted something. Right, Fofana stands up Rudiger, tries a trick but slips, tries a pass. Gesson wins the ball back there. Is that really a foul, ref? I do not think so. Ref has been a bit stop-starty, I feel. Not the greatest refereeing performance, I would say. A little bit stop-starting of the game and spoils it a bit. Florian Wirtz, Undav. Cameron says, Sunday games are tragic, lads. They are. They are. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but they are not the greatest. Oh, good feet from Nicolas Pepe. Absolutely ripping down the right wing. Breaking into the box. What's he got? Simpson, what? It's going to be 2-1, surely. Why did he take a touch? Why did he take a touch? That was 2-1. Hit it first time, and it's 2-1. Simon Adingra, I think that was, of Sunderland Premier League. He saw his name up in lights. I literally can't believe he's done that. That was absolutely awful. Nicolas Pepe tearing down the right. Slides it. Slide rule pass through the Germany backline. Adingra in open space takes an awful touch and doesn't even shoot. Absolutely tragic. That was the game. There and then. Wow. Awful from Adingra. Absolutely awful. Got to shoot there. Trust yourself. First time. Bang. Get it on target. The chances are you score. Wirtz, cushion header down. What a save that is. Wow. Wirtz with a lovely cushion pass down to Nathaniel Down. Hits a left-footed volley at it. Swerving into the corner. Great save from Fofana. Adingra though. What was he thinking? So Germany could have won it there with 2 minutes to go. And I think Adingra had the chance to win it. 2 minutes just before that. That was absolutely awful from him. But interesting game. It's interesting. Both teams could have won the game in the last few minutes. So we've got Ecuador, Curacao at 1 a.m. in the morning. Won't be around for that. Right, Fofana. Said Fofana is breaking. Puts in Pepe. Awful ball. Got it all wrong. Pathetic. You've got Tunisia, Japan at 5 a.m. Spain, Saudi Arabia. 5 p.m. Not the greatest. But to be fair, Saudi Arabia, they're not as, they're not decent enough team. And then Belgium, Iran, not the greatest. Uruguay, Cape Verde. So they should just be routine victories, you would imagine. I think the interesting game tomorrow is Spain, Saudi Arabia. Will Spain turn up? Probably likely, but Saudi Arabia, we know that they're a lot more solid than obviously most people would automatically give. But Adingra, how does he not shoot? Wow. Look at that chance again. Awful. Right, Germany now. Edge of the box. It's in Germany. Oh my goodness. Emiri, 18 yards out, centre of goal. Opportunity to slide it either side of the keeper, and it hits it straight at the keeper. There should have been a winner. Last few minutes, there should have been a winner. Emiri's even a bit closer. He's about 13, 14 yards out. He's literally near the penalty spot, and he places it straight at the keeper. This game should have had a winner, I feel. I think a draw is fair on reflection, but both teams, particularly Ivory Coast, are a little bit open at the back. Nemecha, good feet. A draw does seem fated, Peter. I think definitely for Ivory Coast as well, because I think Germany, the last two chances they had were very good. But that chance for Adingra of Sunderland, that was, honestly, you got to take those. And to not get a shot away, that's my issue with it. Three and a half minutes to go. Players are looking very, very tired out there. So, can Ivory Coast shut down? Oh, here we go. Is there another opportunity? Well cut out by Kessier there. That's offside, surely. That's a goal, but that's offside. Oh, they've won it. What a goal that is from Undav. Surely that is offside. I'll update the score, but I think it's offside. What a through ball through the middle that is. But I think that's offside. Surely that's offside. I'll update the score, but the finish from Undav, the turn of finish is sensational. The through ball through to him is wild. But I think that's got to be offside. But Undav, the finish was clean. Peter, you jinxed them, mate. I think it might be... I mean, it hasn't been ruled out yet, so... I think it would have got ruled off by now. Let's have a look on the replay. Undav takes up a great position in centre. Oh, Nemecha, I played well onside. Well onside. Turned, finish, clean. What a finish from Undav. Brighton must be thinking, who is this guy? Who is this guy? The ball fired into his feet was a rocket. He killed it dead, turned, swiveled, smashed it. Great finish. Germany, as Germany do. Just dig deep and get the result. What a finish that is. The Germans are here to win this. And Adingra holds his head in shame and in pain. And so he should, because they should have been 2-1 up with the chance he had, in my opinion, as Undav takes the celebration of the crowd. What? Nemecha turns, fires in a rapid through ball, and Undav turns, swivels, controls, deadens the ball, and then bang, it's in. What a finish that was. And that is going to be the game. 30 seconds left. That is so harsh. That is so harsh, but this is elite football. They so deserve the point. They so deserve the point. But a very good game. Very, very good game. German fans going nuts in the crowd. So Undav has lit up the German tournament, and surely he's going to have to start the next game. Now, Kai Havertz is trusted, but Undav he's a striker. He's a proper striker. Nagelsmann is furious. He wants the final whistle. The message blasts it at the Ivory Coast defensive line. It goes off for a goal kick. Nagelsmann is furious. He's saying blow the whistle. And that is it. Germany are off and running. Boom. Nagelsmann is pumped. He is so pumped. Showing some mad passion. You love to see it. Gotta respect it. It would have been an interesting. Appointment if Nagelsmann had made it as Liverpool manager. I think he's someone who would have made a good manager. Natasha, who is a subscriber to the channel. She's a big fan of Nagelsmann, and he showed a lot of passion there. So Germany running the group, 2 wins out of 2, doing what Germany usually do, dominate the group stage. But yep, very, very good game. Oh, very, very good game. Right. Is anyone left in the chat still? Any guys still there? Peter says, gotta feel a tad sorry for. 100%, mate. It's tough football, but that's why we love the game, isn't it? It's like, it's just so hard to see when you see people run out for 90 minutes and then obviously now it's 100 minutes with all the added time and all the other bits and bobs, and they're leaving our heart and soul on the pitch, and to lose it last minute as well. That's always the worst kicker. It's different if you lose during the game. You kind of accept it at one point. Okay, we're likely to lose, but you know, when you're so close to getting a draw and it means a lot to your country, your nation, and then to lose it out like that, there's nothing worse than the last minute sickener. But it's always the best way to win a game as well, if you are the lucky team that walks out like that. So yeah. Yep, 2-1 in the end, Abdul. Very, very good game. I think so. You mean our show here? Oh no, it was a great showing from the Ivory Coast. It was difficult. It was a difficult matchup for them. They really did well. They kind of controlled a lot of the proceedings as well. The hydration breaks spoiled it a lot because they kind of give a bit of a false reading of the game, because there were times at the beginning where I felt that Germany were well on course to go and dominate the match. Hydration break came along, shifted the momentum, Ivory Coast got the goal, and then it's a different game. And as we know, goals change games. But I felt like, okay, well, hydration breaks are obviously here anyway. But they had their moments. They controlled at least 40% of that match, I would say. And the rest were, Germany kind of ran the game more. But definitely very harsh. Abdul, Diomande, definitely questionable on that showing. I'm not going to go too hard on him. We've seen the stats. We've seen the potential. I've watched this guy 4 times now, and as I said during the commentary, I've watched 3 decent games from him, to be fair. And this was the worst. And I feel potentially where I would cut him some slack is that he's just had a massive bid put on him. They've rejected the club. He's probably got it in his head. I want to go to Liverpool. I want to get the deal done. I've got to concentrate on the game. He's 19. We've all been 19. And we know how hard life was back then, immaturity-wise, etc. As if the biometrics on his passport are true, by the way. But, seriously, though, like, he must have had a lot on his mind. He's probably thinking, the world's watching this game anyway. And now the world's really going to be looking at me. What are Liverpool trying to buy? And I felt, from the first touch, his game was off today. So I hope for his sake, they get the deal done, because that's what they want the player. So he's going to be a Liverpool player regardless, probably. Get the deal done, and let's see what he's like when that weight is off his shoulders, and see what he plays like normally. Because I feel like this was probably the worst concoction of ingredients for him today. That's me being very generous, because, yeah, he had concrete in his feet today. Not in terms of the pace, but in terms of the touch. It was awful. Peter says, Abdul, I hope to see you next time. Abdul, I hope so as well. Abdul, you're always welcome, my man. Absolutely fantastic talking to you. Peter says, Diomande down to 90 million euros. Mate, honestly, they cannot add more money after that performance. And I made a joke about it during the Watchalong. Like, his value doesn't go up after today. It shouldn't go up on obviously a game-by-game basis, but we know how it can be in football. It's so inflammatory, it's crazy. But yeah, his value doesn't go up after today. And if anything, even though you're joking or tongue-in-cheek, it definitely doesn't go up. And maybe it should go down a little bit. It should go down about 5 million after that, to be fair. If it's going up by 5-10 million, it should go down by 5. Abdul says 50 million left wing and 50 million right wing is better. This is the thing. It's I think our problem is finding the right winger. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, I don't know off the top of my head someone who's good enough. We don't need, and that's the thing. We don't need to replace Mo Salah. We just need to replace. Well, we have to replace him, but we don't have to replace him like for like. We just need to find someone who can obviously score goals, chip in, but create. But it doesn't have to do it on a crazy level like Mo Salah did, because no one's finding that again. But yeah, we need someone that can basically come in, score, 8 to 12 goals a season, create another 10 to 12, 20 GA, as they say, the GA stuff. So can we find it for 50, 60 million? If you pull your finger out, you can. But yeah, if it was down to me and the fact that he can rotate both sides, I would take Barcola. He's done it for 4 years. He's done it for 3 years at PSG. He's done it for a couple of seasons for his previous club, Rennes, in Ligue 1. You know, this is a guy that will get you 20 GA over the course of the season. He can play right wing and left wing. Just like Diomande, I would go for him first. Maybe we're going for both players. Who knows? Maybe we get Diomande. Maybe we sell Gakpo and then get Barcola as well. But I would just source Barcola first because he's better value for them. He's better value. He's 24. He's got experience. He's still young. Rapid as anything. He's got all the tricks in the world. Both footed as well. Obviously better with his right foot, but can play with his left foot as well. He is an older version of Diomande, but he's actually got more technique than Diomande. I'm a little bit worried about Diamande's technique. Diomande reminds me of Semenyo, but kind of like a less polished Semenyo. Obviously, Semenyo's 26, been in the Prem a couple of years. But yeah, I'm quite worried about this Diomande guy, I can't lie. So, but what can we do? We do not control the purse strings. We do not really influence the power brokers, as it were. So we just got to see what happens. Good night, Peter. Good to see you, my bro. Take care. See you soon. On that note, I'm also going to call it a day. Very tired. I've got an early start for myself tomorrow. But Peter, lovely to have you in the chat. Thank you for dropping in, Gary, as well. Abdul, absolute pleasure to see you, my man. Thank you for subscribing. Hope to see you again on either the next watch along or obviously any other videos I drop. Always feel free to say hello, drop a comment, etc. And will definitely be a pleasure to chat and see you again. And I will take your advice and I will check out some of the other people that you mentioned as well. But like I said, my man, absolute legend. Keep flying the flag for Liverpool FC in Leeds. And, you know, may everything go well for you. You know, as the week progresses, have a great start to your Sunday. I won't be back. I'll be back on Monday. I think I'm going to do the Argentina-Austria game on Monday because tomorrow the games smell. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see Lionel Messi versus Austria. So that's when I'll be on next. So on that note, lovely to meet you, my man. And anyone else in the chat that I missed along the way, Cameron as well, good to see you. Obviously, thanks again earlier to Natasha and a few others that dropped by. So once again, my name is Ade. I'll do my little sign out now. My name is Ade. I am the veteran arcade soldier. If you do see this back or any of this back as a vlog, then please do drop a like on the video. So consider subscribing to the channel. My name is Ade. I'm the veteran arcade soldier, and I do plenty of video game content. I do stream Street Fighter 6 on Twitch and play them back through YouTube. Obviously, you can tell I'm getting tired now. Proper stumbling over my words. But I do a lot of football content as well. Cover lots of international matches, the Premier League, transfer stories, etc., etc. Always happy to make new friends and make like-minded acquaintances with good people that like non-toxic banter and a good, fun, friendly environment. On that note, I will see you on the next one. My name is Ade, the veteran arcade soldier, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and good night.